Hey everyone, this is Harry from Casper TV back with another live video. I haven't gone on in a while because obviously it's been Christmas and that. So I hope everyone's well. I'm going to talk about a lot about Tottenham today, unfortunately. So let's get straight into it. Okay, the long injury list. Where should we begin? So Richarlison's out, Van der Ven's out, Romero's out, Davies is out, Dragusin is out. Anyone in the comments, if I'm missing anyone, please let me know. So Richarlison's been out for a while. Dragusin got injured the other day. I don't think he's going to play. Davies is out. Also, Van der Ven and Romero. Spence is suspended. Apparently, Bentancur is suspended for the next game too. I don't know how true it is though. I don't really know. But basically, it's a long injury list. And I just want to talk briefly about Mr. Ange because Ange apparently has come out and said he doesn't care about injuring our players. Apparently, supposedly, anyway. And I think this is part of the problem. I think Ange's football is the reason why we get these injuries. I hate to say it this way, but yeah. Does anyone else have any thoughts on it? But yeah, so like for me, it's partly Ange's fault that we're in this mess in terms of injuries because he is the one who makes our player run the most kilometers in Europe, statistically speaking. And as we know, the fullbacks, especially with Porro and Adogi, I know Spencer's been playing lately, but that's only because he's been forced to kind of play him. This is why we're getting injuries. Van der Ven's not surprised. I think we all thought Van der Ven was going to get killed by this system because he's literally destroying his hamstrings. Yeah, so let's not kid ourselves. Yeah, like it was always going to happen with Van der Ven. Romero is a bit less surprising because I think it was more because he was rushed back that caused that injury. Obviously, Van der Ven, you can say the same thing, but with Van der Ven, I think in this system, he was always going to get injured, right? Because he makes the most runs of any player in our team, more than anyone I can really think of in the league, actually. I think he probably runs more than anyone in the league, Van der Ven. And how does this cause us a lot of problems? Well, yeah. And this brings us to my next point. Ange says he will never change. So these injuries that he's complaining about, all caused by him. Not all of them, but the majority of them are probably caused by him, his style of football. So in order to alleviate that problem, means that either change the style or change the manager. And Ange ain't going to change. So, yeah. As for the last few games, oh God, guys, we're shut in with this one. Liverpool expect us to lose, but not in the manner in which we did. 6-3. For me, going into that game, I would have been kind of not defensive, but trying to keep it tight, and then hit him with a goal on the counter or something because we let in 6 goals. Hey, give me a second, Elijah. Let me see. Yeah, if anyone wants to hop on, just click on the link. Okay, so yeah, as for yesterday, it's more because of the previous games that I thought we were going to lose to Forest because obviously we've lost 9 of our games this season, so that's half the games we've actually played in the Premier League out of 18, which is kind of crazy. We've won 7 and we lost 2, which is probably the worst run of form I've seen us in about 25 years. I was on Tottenham Way last night and we were talking about this, and it's the worst run of form in 20-something years, 16 years. If you look at these different statistics, we've let in almost the same amount of goals last season at the same point and scored almost the same amount. I think there's a difference of 1 goal or something in it, really, which is nothing. So have we really improved? No, I don't think we have. Even when you look at the stats, we haven't improved. So it's I don't know how people are defending Ange. There are still people out there defending Ange. I went on We on Tottenham TV yesterday as well. I spoke about how I think Ange is just causing his own problems. And I think personally, I have more sympathy for Ange if in this injury crisis, if, for example, he's playing Davies if he comes back, Dragusin and Gray, if he dropped the line a bit. just drop the line, man. You don't need to. I'm not saying go like all the way back to the halfway line and just drop like the whole team back there. Just drop the line. Just goose in. He doesn't have the pace to play this system. Also, he's not even a ball playing centre half. Add to that with Forster, yeah. I think half of Forster's problems are created by Ange because Ange makes them play out the back, yeah. So if we stop making him play out the back, maybe, just maybe, we might actually get something out of Forster that doesn't result in a mistake because every time we tell him to play it short, he's one of the worst kickers in terms of I've seen as a goalkeeper in a long time at Tottenham. So, yeah. But saying that, Forster, because of how bad we've been, is probably been our best player. So, yeah, I guess so. The Forest game, onto the Forest game. I don't really want to talk much about the Liverpool game because, I mean, like I said, I expect us to lose, but not in the way we did. But Forest, Ange did not make us proud, I guess. I mean, did not make us proud. Ange is still here, so I guess he did not make us proud. But it's just the fact that Forest had one clear-cut chance, they scored it, and all they had to do was just drop deep to frustrate us, which was quite easy actually because we had a lot of possession, didn't do much with it, and get the result. And Forest deserved to win yesterday. We had a few chances through Johnson, like I think 2 in the first half or something, and they were like half chances really. I don't think they were clear-cut chances, and I didn't really give us any sort of hope. Like I said, I thought we would lose to Forest. The Wolves game, I'll go on to a bit later, but I think we're probably going to lose that one as well. Where we're going is just we're not even a serious club, and the fact that the manager comes out and says these stupid things, and he said a lot of stupid things. This is why I called it Banter FC as the title of the video. Just kind of just reaffirms my point that he shouldn't be here and shouldn't be here. But there's also another argument. But people saying that we should keep Ange, we get so bad that people just eventually like get so toxic with Levy. Whilst that's like yeah, cool man. Whilst that's like, you know, a good idea, our fan base doesn't seem to react that way. I mean, I missed the last protest, as you can tell. I've been coughing quite a lot. I went yeah, because I wasn't that great anyway. But it's like, for me, every time I watch this, there's an inevitability that we're going to lose. That's how I feel about it. I just feel like we're going to lose, and I can do nothing about it. And it's just, yeah, it's just really depressing. Like, it's really depressing. So what do you guys think about Ange? Do you think he's going to stay? Do you think he's going to go? Let me know, because I think, despite everything I just said, Ange is going to probably stay. Hey, you're right.
Yo, I'm good, man. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Nah, don't worry, man.
Sorting out my room, man. Oh, he's on. Yeah, you were in my stream the last couple streams. I can't lie.
Yeah.
In my streams the last couple times. I've been streaming a lot more recently.
Random times, man. You're just like,
yeah. I know. Whenever times I'm in, but I was there midnight because the chat actually requested a midnight stream. They didn't want a match reaction because I was so depressed during my match reaction. I was just like, I don't.
You do watch alongs, isn't it?
Yeah, I do watch alongs whenever I can, and honestly, I was so depressed after the Nottingham Forest game. I didn't feel like doing one, so the chat was like, just do a late night stream instead, because I usually do late night streams on Thursdays. So we were live for like 3 hours until like 3 a.m. man.
Yeah, I mean, TJ's meant to turn up. But I don't know what's happened to him. I'm sending the link, and he was like, "I'm coming at 5," and then I haven't heard from him since then. I don't even.
He even asked me in my stream, "Yo, you're gonna be on the show on Friday?" I'm like, "Yeah, man. If you guys want me on, I'll be there."
Yeah,
you know. I'm like, I see the stream. I'm like, it's just Harry here. Where's TJ?
Bro, I don't know if he's falling asleep or something, because like 4 o'clock, 4:20, whatever it was, he messaged me saying, "Cool." I sent him the link, and then he's not even here.
He just didn't show up. Oh my day, you gotta
I
love
don't know
TJ,
what happened
man.
to the guy, man.
No, he'll
But
probably just
I
show up
think he's just
randomly,
knocked
man.
out. I think he's just falling asleep,
I wouldn't
Because
be
I remember
surprised,
one
to
day,
be
yeah,
honest.
he missed 1 week. Like I was like, "Where is TJ? Where's TJ?" Because the day before he was messaging me, send me the
Yeah.
and I did the stream, and like 2 hours later, he messaged me going, "I just woke up, man." I'm like, it's like 8 o'clock.
The whole street's pretty much done at that point. Okay. Yeah, he's
So
probably
I think
asleep
he's
then at
falling
this
asleep.
point.
I think he's just falling asleep. I think anyway.
Fair enough, man. To
But
be fair, our team makes us fall asleep, so it's just kind of how it goes, man. I wouldn't even be surprised.
yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised, man.
I mean, you watched all the games, yeah. The Liverpool
Yeah.
game, man. Oh my god, man. Honestly, that was just.
Liverpool. Wait, why are there the dots before my name, bro? What's that?
Huh?
You know what they say, like, "Hey, what's up, Haz?"
Yeah.
Elijah. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I got from that, bro. Like, damn, my bad. My bad.
But yeah, like I went yesterday. I went on Tottenham away, and I went We Are Tottenham TV because I was like just
Yeah.
frustrated in it. Because I've not been on streams much because I've got like a cold or flu, whatever, and it keeps like on and off.
First.
Like I just about made the game the other day. I got there at like 4 o'clock, but. Oh, he's saying sorry.
Yeah, you're good, JJ. I'm just trolling, but don't worry, man. You're good, bro.
But like, what do you think of the Forest game? Because I thought we were going to lose before we even kicked the ball, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they didn't score more set pieces. They only had like one corner. That's what I was most surprised about in the game because I was expecting a corner fest, Chris Wood masterclass, all of that. But
He
we
do
didn't get
nothing.
that. Yeah, he didn't do anything really. And
Yeah.
I mean, Nuno did what he was supposed to do: get the goal on the counter attack and low block it. That's what he's supposed to do, and he did his job well. The players did their job well. In terms of our team, it was pretty much set standard when we go against low blocks. Just a bunch of the ball, not doing much with it, no clear-cut chances. That's pretty much set standard when we play against low block teams. We saw against Ipswich, see against Crystal Palace. We have the ball, but we don't do anything with it, and it's just another example, really.
Because we had 70% possession.
Yeah, I always go over the
13 shots,
the stats during the halftime and full time.
Like
Literally.
And then the only chance I remember us having it was like obviously that Son thing in the beginning. Everyone was talking about, when he ran with it and he passed it, so passing it anyway.
Yeah.
And then there was those 2 Johnson shots or 3 Johnson shots that were kind of like half chances. But
pretty much, yeah, that was it.
I don't think Forest were ever like that scared of us, to be honest, man. Like,
nah,
what
no
do you
chance.
think?
No chance, man. I mean, our target man is like when we play against low block teams. This is what really frustrates me. The players are just all around the box, and the only one kind of in the box is Solanke. Like I understand defenders will push up to try and get you out the box, but when you have possession, you got to be like forcing runs in. You got to make it look like you're going to just play a ball at any time. Anything could happen. That's what other teams do or other good teams do when you're playing against a low block. You try and shift the defense. And we didn't do that at all. We were just passing around the box, aimlessly trying to force in crosses. And nothing really happened. They just cleared the ball, counter-attack, clear the ball, start again. That was really it. We didn't really do much. We didn't do anything at all. Like in the chat, we were talking about anything but the game. Like I would spend like 5-10 minute intervals not even looking at the game. That's how boring it was because we were just passing it around. Like we were talking about Ballon d'Ors. We were talking about Messi and Ronaldo. We were talking about like acne. We were talking about so many different things. Yeah, we were talking about so many things. Like was Schneider robbed? Was Ribéry robbed of Ballon d'Or? We talked about anything else apart from the game because it was just that boring. There was nothing happening at all.
Like, I turned to 1-0 down. I was like, I know what kind of day it was going to be because, like, we just have no. The thing is, I kind of feel sorry for Solanke because he was probably at Bournemouth and he probably had more supply at Bournemouth from the wingers. I know it sounds bad,
yeah,
but like, and he comes to Tottenham and like neither of our wingers can cross the ball. I mean, Son kind of done anyway, but. Like Johnson can't cross. He had like one cross the whole season. I remember when he scored that goal against Chelsea. But like, our wingers don't cross.
Our wingers are they play like strikers. That's the thing. It's like I've been saying our wing backs are like our actual wingers. Like Porro and Udogie, they're the players that will, if they're not inverting, will bomb down the wing and put in crosses and all that type of stuff. That's the players to do that. Son is not really like people can talk about his creativity. I don't really see it. He's just more of a
No,
striker, and
yeah,
especially at this stage in his career. And Brennan Johnson's just a tapping at the back post guy. So
yeah.
they're not really wingers that are going to create anything, and that's really the problem. If you're relying on your wing backs to create and defend, this is what
And
really
everything,
happens.
literally. Yeah. I think that's the problem with Angie. Like, he wants our players to do literally everything, and it's like normally players have like a specialized role. Like the midfielders, I look at Basuma. I'm not saying he's the best, by the way, or Bentancur, but he's setting them to do like 5, 6 different things. And I don't know if you've seen the picture of like on Tottenham Away, Sava has his picture and there's all these like circles of all the gaps are. There's a lot on
I
that.
haven't seen it, but it just sounds hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. It
Like in
just
the
sounds
Liverpool game
hilarious.
and the Chelsea game, it's like the same gaps.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I'm not
Like
surprised,
if you
man.
look at the Enzo goal and you look at what goal did Liverpool score, remind you of that one? There's like another goal they scored, which was like a ball across, and then like it was just open and he scored.
Oh, I think that's the Salah's goal, maybe. I
Yeah,
don't know
maybe it's
when.
Salah, maybe it was Salah, but like it
Might
was the
be
same
Salah's
like
goal.
holes, let's say, or same like circles that
I'm
were
not
like
surprised,
in both
man.
games, and so I just don't understand Ange's tactics. Like when I was a Spurs fan, yeah, like back in 2013, we had some AVB. Do you remember AVB at all?
Yeah, in little bits, yeah. But I remember him being our coach at some point,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think
I
his football's
remember.
better than this. But anyway, he inverted the wingers. Like he was the first manager I remember at Tottenham inverting wingers. But what he didn't
Mhm.
do is he didn't invert the fullbacks. Like he would invert the wingers, where he would like, at least let the fullbacks play as fullbacks, like wide, and at
Okay,
least he
yeah.
played with like a defensive midfielder. But like it's just weird for me that Ange, because you said our wingers play as forwards, right? And this is another thing that I agree completely
Mhm.
on. Like they're not actually wingers. But then why did Ange sign Johnson then? Because Johnson ain't a winger.
That's the thing.
And why is he playing Son on the left then? Because Son ain't a winger. And then
Yeah, literally. He should be playing up top. Like I would have. I mean, obviously, it's a bad take now considering how bad Son has been. But at the start of the season, I wouldn't have even bought Solanke. I would have put Son up top and
mm,
gone for some actual creative wingers if we're going to be doing this inverted thing. Because if you want to invert a fullback, then they're not going to be creative anyway. Like that's not their job. Like when Arsenal invert, they're not creative. That player specifically, they have a creative midfielder for that. So if you're going to invert Udogi or Porro, they're not supposed to be the creative outlet. You're supposed to have an Odegaard or a Madison or
mm.
a Soboslai or Kevin De Bruyne or someone like that in the midfield already. So that's the only thing I don't understand. Like we're inverting fullbacks, but then we want them to be the creative ones because our wingers aren't creative. And when we have Madison dropping back to help the link-up play, if Kulu's there, then I don't know where Kulu goes. He just goes where he pleases. And it's just a whole bunch of just randomness, really. There's no
Yeah, because
cohesion.
you know,
There's no
uh,
coordination. It's
do
just
you
what
know,
it is.
so what I've noticed a lot, and it kind of something Sava made a comment on something way yesterday, which kind of triggered this when I look back at things. So you know, our wingers, our fullbacks invert, right? So they go higher up.
Yeah.
And obviously, you got
Yeah.
Bentancur and Sarr who like kind of drop a bit deeper because of that, I think. And obviously Madison.
Hmm.
But because the inverted fullbacks invert and you're left with holes on the side,
Hmm.
they made a good point. Like Sarr and Bentancur, say yesterday, for example, almost playing wide because they have to cover the spaces that's been vacated by
Yeah.
the
In a
fullbacks.
way.
And what that
Yeah.
does is it leaves as Jamie Carragher said against Chelsea, where is the midfield? Like we have no one in
Yeah.
the midfield. Because obviously, and
Yeah.
the only one might be Madison, who's having to drop back. But the other ones are playing further wide because they're
Hmm.
trying to cover spaces left by the fullbacks. Like, what I noticed
Yeah.
in the Chelsea game with Enzo and Maresca compared to like Ange is they were playing, I think, 4-3-3 or something. I can't remember what it was in the first half, or 3 something. I think they
I
played
think it
3 at
was
the back.
four. It was basically through at the back because they would invert Cucurella, but they switched it up in the second half to more like a
So they brought
4-5-1.
Gusto on and they went to back 4. But he pushed Cucurella even higher up the pitch, I remember.
Yeah, to kind of like hold on to who was it, Basuma? Because Basuma was playing horribly. I think Cucurella was basically almost attached to Basuma, like
Yeah,
taking him out the
yeah.
game. So Enzo had more freedom to move, and yeah, it was great tactical change by Enzo. To be fair,
But like what I'm saying is he inverted one of them, right? He didn't invert both of them. Ange inverts both of them. And
yeah,
not only that, right? Doesn't play with number 6. So it's not like he inverts them and they go up, say goes 10 to
yeah,
say, just for argument's sake. and then one of the midfielders just sits and makes a 3, for example.
Yeah.
We have no one there. It's literally like everyone goes.
Yeah, everyone just goes except for the centre back. But that's the thing about invert. Like, you're supposed to invert one and create like a 3-2-5 kind of thing. Like, that's what pretty much every other manager does. It's like a 3-2-5. And this whole like signing a 6, like obviously signing like a world-class 6 or a great 6, it would be a big answer to our questions. But I just think as time goes on, I don't think that's going to happen. Not even just because of Levy or anything like that, but just because of
It's Ange, isn't it?
I don't think that's just gonna. I think we'll probably sign a 6, but not a great one, which for me would bend the question of, do we play 2 quote unquote 6s, like an enforcer, a destroyer, like a Casemiro kind of player, and then we have like, the architect, like a Jorginho kind of caliber player next to them, like maybe something like that, and then we invert a fullback to make like a 3-2-5 kind of thing. That sounds a bit more feasible, but then again, that involves changing the tactics, which the manager's made it clear he's not wanting to do that. So it's just questions like, there's so many different ways we can at least steady the ship. It's just a question of, is it going to happen? And as time goes on, it looks like it's not going to happen, unfortunately, which sucks because I wanted this manager to do well, but it's not.
That was going to be my next question.
Well, I just stay and go. You just got everything ready,
I went on. We are talking on TV yesterday, right? And I know people in the comments were going to be exactly. I don't think Forest even played that well. I agree with this guy. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't really create crazy amount, but they created enough to score, and that was it. That's all they needed.
But
big up Ace, big up Kiwi as well.
I'm going to pose 2 things to you because I was thinking this today. So, and it's partly because of obviously the show I was on yesterday, trying to trigger these questions. So, would you rather? I know it sounds really bad, and I'm sure I know someone watching this think I'm like want us to lose, but would you rather keep Ange and further down the table and potentially get relegated? I know it sounds mad to be saying this. If it meant that Levy left, because I think when we got relegated, maybe Levy might actually be forced to sell because maybe he will be forced to sell. I mean, it could happen. I mean, I don't think any team's ever too good to go down. And the way we're going, we could lose like 20 games this season. Like, it's even possible. I'm not even joking. The way we're going is possible.
No, we've already lost 9, and it's been halfway through the season, so you could lose 20 depending on how things go. It's not crazy to say it mathematically, but for big up Kiwi, man. Why does Pep invert his fullbacks, and his reasoning for inverting fullbacks different to Ange's? The way Ange does it is just weird. Like I was saying before, Pep, when he inverts his wingbacks, he inverts them to be like almost like holding midfielders next to Rodri. That's pretty much what it is. Because usually he'll have Rodri and he'll have KDB there, and he'll have more attackers. So it's almost like a 4-5-1 in a sense, or however you want to see it, or like a 3-2-5, or however you want to see it, because the fullback that inverts doesn't push forward. Like usually he'll have Kyle Walker there, he'll have maybe Rico Lewis, maybe Gvardiol or Nathan Ake, one of them. But when they invert, they don't usually push up unless Man City have total control of the game. And we see when they go up and they lose the ball, it's a counter-attack every time for the other team. So a lot of the times, when they invert, they don't push up crazy amount. They're more like just a supply option, a pass option. But when and not only do both fullbacks invert, even if Jed Spence stays back, because we see Jed Spence stay back and form a back 3 sometimes compared to Porro, who will always go forward. But let's say even when it's Spence back and it's a back 3, Udogie pushes up all the way. But the problem with Udogie is that he doesn't overlap anymore. Like, I don't know where that's gone. Maybe it's been drilled into him by Ange or by the coaching staff that he's not supposed to overlap. But every time Udogie has the ball, I've seen it so many times watching him closely, and I make sure to watch him specifically because it's an issue. He'll have the ball, and we know Udogie's quick. We know he has the pace to burn out players, and he'll be one-on-one with a defender where he can just blitz past them. But instead of doing that, he'll either hold up the play and wait for Son to overlap him, or he'll just pass it inside. And what that does is it gives the defense time to set up, and then we're pretty much against like a 5-back instantly. And I hate that so much. But it's like we attack up to a certain point and then we wait. That's the issue I hate. Because if you want to be super attacking, go all out, try and get as many balls into the box as you can, make the defenders uncomfortable. But it's like we're waiting for them to set up, and then attack. It's like, what's the
Like I
point in
look
that?
at Forest, and even obviously Liverpool are the top of the league for a reason, right? But I look at Forest, and just the way they move the ball was so much quicker than us. And Nuno's been there for what?
Mhm.
Is it 6 months? 7? How long is it?
Yeah,
It's
this
not
is
that
his
long.
first like proper season in charge.
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty much.
and he's not had as much to spend as Ange. Yeah,
Spence, yeah, Spencer's better at this whole, but he's probably our
he
best
is.
fullback right now,
He is. Yeah, he
which
is.
is even more of a condemning on Ange for refusing to play him. This thing I hate so much, man. I swear, I've got so many gripes with this man.
Well, you got
I hate
Regulon
it
as
so
well.
much. We have Regulon too. Would probably do okay, man. I have so many gripes against this manager just because like I backed it. I backed Ange. I gave him my support. I gave the first season off. You know, the injuries and all this type of stuff. I let the first season go, and we're just getting worse. We're just getting worse. The football's getting worse. The results are getting worse. I don't see any light at the end of the tunnel no more, and it sucks because I'm not trying to be this whole negative
Negative.
Ange out
Yeah,
yada
yeah.
yada. Yeah, I'm not trying to be all that, but I have to criticize the manager where I see criticism is worthy. And you know how YouTube is, people are quick to lob you into a corner that
Well,
they see
did you
fit.
watch that
So
stream the other day with me, Danny, Arian for like 30 minutes and Oren? Have you seen that one of Spurs
I
Kings?
haven't seen it. No, I
No,
haven't seen it,
Oren called me
unfortunately.
toxic.
Is it?
Yeah,
Oh
he called
my!
Ange
I
out.
need to go watch that. It was on Spurs Kings,
Honestly,
yeah. Was it an Ashmack analysis?
yeah.
Okay,
I
I
mean,
need to
Ash
go
didn't
back
know
and
what
watch
he got
that.
into. I mean, it's partly his fault. I mean, he invited certain people like me, Dan,
Oh yeah, them man stirred
Arian,
a
and
pot
Oren.
like instant.
Oren.
Remember the first time I went on? It's because
Yeah,
of my Archie Gray video. He was like
yeah,
Archie Gray, Oren's an Archie Gray guy. So they were waiting for that. So I realized the stream was going on,
yeah.
and I was like,
He knows
"You
what
was a
stream I'm
gold
talking
stream.
about. That was a
I
gold
need to
stream.
watch it. Yeah, Kiwi, I need to watch
Honestly,
it."
man.
But
But he called me toxic, and I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Your
hey, look,
father."
Oren's my guy, but he's
We
had a
like
few
me and
meaty
Dan
takes,
kind
man.
of like tied him into knots because basically he were like Conte left us in fourth. He's like, no, he didn't leave us in fourth, and the whole chat was like, no, he left us in fourth. You know when he got sacked,
Yeah,
he was
yeah,
saying,
you know,
"Oh,
it's just
Andy's better, blah blah." Yeah,
yeah. Oren's my guy, but the amount of meaty takes, I'll never forgive him for the
yeah. Ash knows what he's
Galatasaray
doing.
free hit.
Funny
Yeah,
thing about Ash,
Ash
yeah,
is
that streamer, Kiwi's person I was talking about, I had no idea what I was getting into because I went on that analyst before that. It was a really
yeah,
chill stream. I went off a bit too long, not because it's not his fault, right? It's just how it is sometimes, isn't it?
yeah,
But I knew I had to go at like 10, and it kept going on, so I had to buy it. But it was a really chill stream. Everyone was agreeing. Everyone was like against Ange, blah blah blah. Ash didn't tell me anything about the stream. All the one I did was send me the link. And bear in mind, I was like coming from a really chill stream. I walk in, suddenly you'll see
man,
it
them are
anyway.
arguing. Man, they're probably
Bro,
arguing,
Arian
bro.
and Orange shout screaming at me, and then
Oh
someone
my
shouting
days.
abuse. This is like, mate,
It's I'm gonna have to watch that, man. I'm gonna have to watch that stream. I
yeah.
swear, man.
But bro,
That's crazy.
it was crazy, man. But like, what's what I mean is a lot of our fans are still with Ange. That's the thing. Like, I don't
Yeah,
think.
I've seen some. And this is something I planned with my stream. I'm gonna
Mm,
start a series on my channel where I basically just go over like there's a Reddit for Tottenham. There's like articles people write on Twitter and all that stuff. I'm
mm.
about to start a series where I just go through articles and just expose people for talking bullshit, pretty much.
Well, I'll watch
Because
that 100%.
yeah,
So,
it's
guys, if you go, you guys subscribe to Elijah if you want to.
yeah, I'm good. It's gonna be streams and there's gonna be videos on it. Because it's not only is it free content,
Yeah.
I find it funny and the stuff that people do, the stuff that people say is hilarious to me. So yeah, I'm just gonna start doing stuff like that because
I'll tell you
I
something,
don't know,
right?
just people.
Do you ever watch the Spurred on TV channel back in the day or not?
No.
It was like the Tottenham fan version of Arsenal fan TV, pretty much, right?
Okay, fairs.
But basically, I went on there, right, and this was during Poch's season, the Leicester season, where we were really good. And then so they liked me for the first half of the season, or like 3/4, because I was like positive. Maybe it was positive. But as soon
Okay.
as I saw things going wrong and I started criticizing, I'm not even Poch. It was more like the recruitment, the fact that I thought we'd lost the title after we drew to Arsenal at home 2-2 that
Yeah.
season. everyone in the comments I used to read was like,
They
he's
started
been negative,
spinning.
and then, bro, we collapsed at the end of that season. Don't forget as well.
Yeah.
And then some people saying he was right. You should anyway. And then that summer came on Twitter because obviously at that point I'd grown my Twitter account. Mate, I got so much stick for that summer because I was like, Sissoko's not good enough and Kudu's not good enough, whatever. And it's like got toxic.
Geez, man.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, man.
And that
People
was
will switch up.
Yeah. But it's like they
Yeah.
used to like me before, then they stopped liking me just because I wasn't like crazy positive. Because I didn't think the window was good enough anyway. But this one, I mean, a lot of these people were they'll be on board with you if you follow this certain narrative basically every time.
Yeah.
Right. These
Which is
uber
100%
positive
true.
people
Yeah.
for the sake of positivity because we can't say anything bad about the club we support. If you follow that, you're good. Like and I think a lot of our fan base, we were talking about this last night on Tottenham Way, are like followers. So like they'll see someone with a big Twitter account or YouTube channel, like someone like Chris Cowlin, and he's like ridiculously positive, for example. I say positive, I'm just saying I was maybe it's toxic positive. Anyway, but as in what I'm saying, he will never. This guy understands. Someone's very similar. But they will never criticize the club or like the chairman or anything really. They'll just talk about things. I take it surface level. They'll talk about things on surface level. So they'll just talk about games, results, or things are bad or things are good. They'll never like do what we do. We sit here and like we deep it.
Yeah.
We start holding people responsible for these things. They'll just talk at a surface level, like, oh, we went to a game of football, we won, we lost, that sort of thing. Oh, we move on, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And that's like surface level stuff. But because what it is with that is it means that no one was not going to like you because you're just talking about things like on a very surface level thing. Like you're not out there being, I'm Ange out. Say, for example, if I went on this and I'm Ange out, I guarantee that their comment section.
Most of the chat is going to be on your case, literally.
Yeah,
literally. That's how it is on Twitter, man. On Twitter, Twitter's mostly Anjin. But you're 100% right. It's easy, and this is why I try and stay out of not really debating people in a sense, but I don't really I don't really vocalize on a side like crazily. I can understand both sides, and it's why I try and talk to as many people as I can if they come through my stream. Like I have a bunch of people on my stream that are Anjin that genuinely believe in the manager. Huh?
I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it. On
your
stream,
you've seen it. Yeah. Like I have people who are Anjin and I have people who are Ange out, and a lot of people like they're cool with me because I take time to like talk to people, and like I see Tottenham away, bro. I'll never forget my man was calling people chickens and cowards and all of this stuff, and like I was like, yo, this I respect it, but damn, that's kind of a bit much, you know. But it's easy for people to just if as long as you're an echo chamber for what people believe, they will support you, and that's something that is really
But this
easy
is why
to
the Ashes
fall
show
into.
does really well because he'll put people on purpose who go against each other. That's the whole point.
Yeah, like he's good at what he does for real.
He knew me and
But
Oren
one thing,
100%. He knew.
yeah, he knows, so he'll put you guys on 100%. I think the problem is I don't really clash with anyone, so a lot of the times I'm just pretty chill, so I don't really generate many arguments for them. So a lot of the times they don't really mind in it. But
I'm like,
people...
so I'm in. For example, I'll give you an example of this, right? Personally, again, sorry, I have to give a personal experience.
No,
so I'm in different WhatsApp chats, right? So Spurs Kings is all right. You can have like a different opinion. I think that chat's probably one of the better ones. I mean, like other ones as well. But there's one particular one, or two particular ones, where I'm not going to name them because it's. But basically, early in the season, I was Ange out. Actually, not been Ange out since February, But simply Ace, unfortunately, that's our fan base. They didn't like content Marino because of the football, unfortunately.
Pretty much, yeah.
Anyway, but so I was very vocally like Ange out. Like I would after every game we would lose, or even when we won, I would still be like stuck to my guns basically. I go unless I see like a period of like difference, let's say, or progression, whatever. So for example, we suddenly won like 5 games in a row. We lost 1, we drew 2 or something. I was like, okay, there's something there. But we would win a game. Everyone in that group would go like, look, where the Ange out is now, blah, blah. And then I'd be like, I'm still here.
Yeah.
And then a week later it would happen, and they'll lose, and they'll just disappear for a week, and then they'll come back.
Yeah.
You know when they win L. Now obviously we lost 2 in a row, but
that's basically the comment section reincarnated into a group chat. That's basically what it is.
I would get the most abuse because like, basically I would sit there and just like after every person was, because basically I'll say something about Ange or about Spurs or whatever.
Yeah.
Some people would say like, "You're this, you're that, you're so toxic. It's your fault."
Yeah.
And then
Stuff
you
like
know what?
that
You
is,
should
yeah.
probably tell your boy to fix it then. Tell Ange to fix it then. So
You know what I'm
sick of
saying?
it.
Yeah. If he was winning games consistently, none of us would be here talking about Ange will he stay or go? Because we'd want him
And
to
I
stay,
said,
you know what I'm
because
saying?
one of them said that, this guy said that, it was toxic under Conte. But I go, hold on, it's toxic now under Ange. No one else can agree with like it's so split
Yeah.
anyway. No one's
I
we're
think
not
it's more
united.
toxic right now.
Like under Poch, I think 99% of the fan base, 95% was like with him. I think like a lot more. That was the most united I think we've ever been. Maybe under Redknapp, I don't know. I mean, didn't have social media as one as big back then, so I can't really say. But and Martin Yole back in 06, I mean, social media was barely even created by that point.
Yeah. Literally, yeah.
So I don't know. I can't say, but like if I'm basing on, like, I think the club was quite united, or the fans were quite united back then. But like I look at Conte, Jose, especially Jose on Twitter, Ange now, Nuno, like I label as like toxic errors. AVB, I don't know again because that was 2013, so I don't know how it was like on social media as much because I wasn't on Twitter as much then. So like the whole idea that it's not toxic under Ange is ridiculous because it is.
Oh no, it's very toxic. It's 100% toxic. There's no way it isn't toxic. It's probably more toxic than Conte times. I'm gonna be real, especially since the fact that he is. And to answer the question directly, he's gonna be here to the end of the season.
You think? I was gonna say, do you think so?
Yeah, 100%. He's gonna be here to the end of the season.
So even if we get relegated.
If you get relegated, then he'll probably get sacked then. But I doubt he's gonna be. I doubt he's gonna be sacked. I can't even like envision a world in which he gets sacked. I really don't. Not until the end of the season, at least. I don't think so. Because like, look at the situation we're in right now, and we have articles coming out saying that sacking Ange right now. And sorry for being vulgar, but this is what the article said.
Okay.
Sacking Ange right now is like cutting off your dick because you might get syphilis. That's what the article is saying right now. Like Christmas Eve, I think this article came out. And we're already. I'm telling you right now, this article came out like Christmas Eve, or the tweet, or I forgot it was a tweet or an article, but I was on stream. It was on my stream. Like we saw this. So if they're saying this right now, and we are 7 wins, 9 losses, 9 points off the relegation zone, then I'd have no reason to think that he's gonna get sacked before the end of the season. I don't see it.
Because like the other week, one of those people in that group was like, "I'm firmly Ange in," and it's like we just lost 6-3 to Liverpool, and I'm just like, are you serious? It's not even.
Did you see the poll?
I mean, it's not even like we lost the game. Like I can tolerate losing to Liverpool, but it's just the way we lost.
Yeah, getting battered.
If it was like 2-1, maybe 3-1 or something, like overall. Same in the first half. Sort of theoretically here, it was 3-1 in the first half. But same in the second half, we went out and we drew 0-0 and finished 3-1. I'd be more like sympathetic for Ange, but
I get that.
Comes out and it's just a mess, even more of a mess.
Yeah, I hear that. Yeah, it was the way we got battered. It was literally like in a chip shop, the way we got battered. It was horrible to watch. It was not good football at all. And Liverpool just chilled out after 5-1. They literally just chilled. And as soon as it got to 5-3, they were like, let's just score 1 goal real quick just to dead this comeback. And that was the end of the game, really. But there's even have you seen the polls that have come up on my stream? Like there were polls, 5,000 people voted on a poll, right? Would you take? Big up to everyone in the chat, by the way. Would you take?
About that.
The 6-3 Postecoglou loss or a 1-0 Conte win.
Oh, please, man.
53% of people out of 5,000 picked they would take a 6-3 Postecoglou loss over a Conte 1-0 win.
Done, man. Honestly, when I saw that, I was like, this club is done.
This is all I need and I have people trying to add context to it, like, oh, with Conte, we wouldn't have won the game 1-0. It's not about the Liverpool game. It's just, would you take scoreline for scoreline a 6-3 loss or a 1-0 win? Yeah, they tried to add context where there was no context. Like it didn't say what team we were playing against. Like obviously the 6-3 is talking about Liverpool. Yeah, it's reference to Liverpool, but just in terms
of
they were
singing his name, or 5-1 down, and there were fans singing his name.
Yeah, someone in my chat told me because I watch it muted, but someone told me in the chat.
as if you guys don't know, I don't sing his name in the stadium.
What's the
You know when they
Coglu as
go,
well?
"Oh, Ange Postecoglou," I just sit there and just don't say anything. I
Yeah,
refuse to sing it.
I hear it, man. I came up with another because we've heard the poster no clues,
Yeah,
the imposter Coglus. I call him Ange post mortem because the football's dead. That's what I call it, man. Ange post mortem. The football is horrible, man. It's a flat line. You know,
bro.
this is horrible. It's horrible to watch,
It's
man. I
worse,
don't enjoy it.
honestly, man. Like I grew up watching Tottenham in like the late 90s, from like say 97, 90, whatever, till like before like 04, 05, 06 when we finally got back into Europe, for example.
He'll go in the summer, probably. Yeah. Even if we don't get fourth, he's gonna stay to the end of the season, probably.
But like,
it's just the amount of
the football we're playing now and the tactics we're doing now. And bear in mind we had much worse players back then. The football I saw back then was better than, at least more organised. The players were fighting more. And bear in mind we had rubbish players back then, man. We had like Tarico, Jamie Wren played for Spurs for like a few years. You know, these dead players. I enjoyed going to Tottenham more back then when I knew we were bad, because at least I felt like the players were playing for the manager at least, and at least we tried to do something, even though we had a rubbish team. They tried to do something to at least limit the chance the other team were having because we had such bad players, for example, or whatever.
Yeah,
this guy, it's just
the thing. Our players aren't bad. That's what makes it worse. And he said it. Ange copy and paste to Coglu. You know what I'm saying? Not even copy and paste Postecoglou, copy and Postecoglou. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think he knows he's hitting in the season? Is that why? Do you think he's doing this?
Yeah. He's fully backed, man. He knows. The board knows. At this point, the fan base knows it too. The people who want Ange to go, like, come on, let's be honest. He's gonna be here. He's gonna be here. It is what it is. We might as well just get ready for it. I don't see a world in which he's sacked, and we just have to deal with him, man. It's just how it goes. But even like when we were bad, as you referenced, right? At least you know that the team is bad and they're trying to win games. We actually have like good players. Like these players came fifth last year. Even with all of the same things happening, they still came fifth. Credit to the new manager bounce in the first 10 games of the season, all that jazz, but they still secured Europa League football. Like before that, we weren't in Europe. So these players are still good enough to get top four. I just think it's a tactical issue. And I tried to give Ange to the end of the season, coincidentally enough. I felt like he deserved to at least dig us out of the hole he created. But as long as time goes on, he's not changing things. The quotes keep getting worse. I think he's getting frustrated with the media, which is insane. Imagine getting frustrated at the media because you keep losing games, lad. I don't understand that personally. Yeah, I don't understand that personally.
You know, someone made a comment today about him shaking his head on the touchline, saying that why is he shaking his head? Because he's the one who causing these defensive issues.
He's the one who makes the tactics. But I don't get at least say something. The only time, and they might be shagging him with the camera pans, but every time I see him, he's either not saying anything or telling the players to pass the ball forward.
Me at the game, right? I watch him like constantly because where I sit is like upper tier. I'm sit west upper tier, so he's like below me, not directly below me. But, you know, I can see him most of the game. He doesn't give any directions. Maybe on average for about 5 minutes to 10 minutes at the push. Each game you see him saying something. I'm talking about overall if you add everything.
Yeah.
All the seconds or whatever to say, right? 5 to 10 minutes at a push. 10 minutes of real pushing it, by the way. But 5 minutes of the game, you see him trying to say something to a player, pointing to something. And I think personally a lot of this started because a lot of fans, and I think the either he's seen it or someone he knows seen it or criticizing him for not saying anything. And then suddenly we see him on the touchline saying stuff, or it's because he's feeling the pressure. So now he feels like I have to say something because the players aren't reacting or whatever. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I don't know. I just feel
I hear it. He might be feeling the pressure a little bit. Yeah. I feel like he might be feeling a bit of pressure, but not really from the board. I would probably say from like coincidentally online, and like I refuse to believe managers nowadays don't know what's being said about them online. Like, there's no way. Like we're too reliant on technology at this point in our lives. So you have Twitter. I know they have Twitter. They know what's being said about them. So I'm sure
an Instagram account, doesn't he? Mourinho
yeah.
has an Instagram.
So I know that managers, whether they take it in or not, is different. But I'm sure Ange knows what's being said about him online, and he's well aware of some of the people who don't back him and don't believe in him and all this type of stuff. So he's definitely aware.
Can you
But
imagine?
in terms of it's
His
one of Ange's
goes,
minions in the
his
stream,
wife goes, they're ripping your Tottenham away.
you know what I'm saying? You got one of the coaching staff, yeah, they're in the stream just lurking, getting ready for the clips to send to Ange and that. You know what I'm saying? There's definitely things like that going on. Definitely things like that going on. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
They do, the club. I know the club do monitor Twitter 100% because
Oh yeah. The clubs
like,
are
there's so
very
much evidence for that. Like it's,
yeah.
but I think there
Players
are
know.
like accounts lurking on Instagram. Sorry, and on Instagram and on this platform now, YouTube, because of
Yeah.
how much it's grown.
Yeah,
No, I
yeah.
don't think this stream. I'll be surprised if
100%.
someone from the club watching this stream. But I mean, like the bigger channels, because of how many views they get, it's easy for someone
Yeah.
for the club to be like, "Oh, tonight I'm going to watch Tottenham away to see what the fans are saying," or tonight I'm
Oh
going to
yeah, they
watch.
definitely hire people for that. They definitely hire people for that. Like media people to like basically catch wind of what the narratives are. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's the job. Yeah, literally their job is to monitor what people say and how people are feeling like on a fan base level. But even in terms of Ange not saying anything on the pitch, like it would make sense if you had proper leaders on the pitch. And we don't really have that. Maybe apart from Kulusevski, maybe. That's he got clips of that. Probably him and like Mr. Box Office and
Mr.
Tottenham
Box
Away
Office.
and yeah, they probably know exactly who Mr. Box Office is. Tottenham Away, Salah, they
And
know
back
who all
to,
these
what was he
people are.
saying? Back to, was it? I've got the line.
What's the Box Office
And
saying?
back to you, what was it? I'm done. Was it? And back to you, I'm done.
I forget what the saying is, but they know at the very least, yeah, at the very least, the media department know who these people are, man, 100%. They don't know who we are because we're not on that level, innit? But they know who they are for sure.
Yeah.
They know who they are. But yeah, and if we had leaders like on the pitch who could really like command back to life, back to reality, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, if we had leaders who could command on the pitch, then Ange wouldn't have to say much. The thing with like Jose and Pep to a certain degree, and obviously Arteta is known for his antics on the sideline, and like but Ancelotti is also a prime example too. Like a lot of old school managers didn't say much, and that's because they have leaders on the pitch who can express doing their job and expressing what they need to do and all this stuff, and they'd leave it for the half time. And I understand some managers do that, and Ange may be one of them, but I don't know about getting rid of big names or big personalities. I'm not going to go too much on that, but just we don't have any in the squad right now. If maybe Kulusevski might be the only one, but we don't see Kulusevski shouting at players, directing players, motivating players. We don't see anybody on the pitch doing that at all.
Well, back in the day, in like 90s, 2000s, I mean, maybe less so now, but the captain will most likely be the manager's man, they used to call it. So the manager would want something to go onto the pitch, and he'll put his captain, I remember, and send this message for tactical, whatever it was. And then they would go around. Sometimes they even give him a piece of paper with like, I'm not joking. Right. And then
Mourinho used to do that. I've seen that. Yeah, Mourinho did that.
Tell the other players. I mean, listen to the way Terry speaks about Mourinho. He has so much respect for him because Terry was Mourinho's man, basically. Like, but nowadays, I look at Son, and I mean, he's not captain material, but I don't see him even as Ange's man in that respect either, because I just think he was chosen personally for PR.
I think so, yeah, because he's Tottenham's like legend of the club right now, like the marquee player. Every club has a marquee player, and Son is the Tottenham marquee player, and I guess soon it'll be Kulusevski, so he'll get the armband next. But right now, yeah, it's Son, and we see with Son, he complains a lot. Like he just has a lot to complain about. I think he's just very frustrated at the moment. but we don't see anyone like rallying the troops or anything like that. We need, if Ange ain't gonna say nothing, we need someone on the pitch who can be Ange's teacher's pet basically and just round everyone up and do something like that. But we're not seeing that at all. So right now, when a goal goes in, we're just seeing everyone trod up the pitch, not saying anything, waiting for the kickoff.
No reaction. There's no reaction.
Yeah, and whenever we see that, we don't get filled with confidence. Like as a fan, like especially if you're a fan traveling to the game, like I know you go to games, Harry. I know like Mr. Box Office goes to games. If I went to a game and we could see the goal, and I'm seeing the players just trodding up the pitch, not saying anything, no desire, no anything, then it's not going to fill me with any confidence.
Anyway,
you trying to shout at the players, man.
In a Liverpool game, I was like, "Fucking wake up!" And then everyone looks at me like, "Man, you must stand." And I was like, "What the fuck is wrong with this guy?" Because you know what, like the manager isn't doing that, right? So I'm just like,
but you just start screaming. It's like I get it, honestly. I get it.
The pitch was like, it's just it's more frustrating because, like, if we had someone like even Poch to some extent did it. Redknapp used to always do it. I don't know if shouting's the right word for Redknapp, but he also, him and his coaches used to direct the players a lot. I remember Joe Jordan, Kevin Bond. The managers I felt that are more quieter don't seem to get as much results with us because I think our players need more direction. If we had like the top players, which we should really have, the money we spend at the stadium. Then I can't understand why the manager would be a bit more like
more quiet.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Carlo Ancelotti in a nutshell, and like that's what it is. He has some of the best players in the world, and he has a bunch of leaders, and to go around with that, I think.
Oh.
I don't know why my mic keeps bugging now.
Yeah, it's back now. Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Okay. I don't know why. It unplugged for the first time, but then it muted again. I don't know. Sorry about that. Yeah, but what was I saying? Real Madrid. Yeah. Real Madrid, the reason they struggled early on is because like their actual leaders, their squad players, Carvajal, obviously he went down with an ACL, Nacho left, Joselu left, a bunch of veteran players who weren't all talent, but they were squad players who could do the job and come up clutch and command the game. Obviously, Cruz retired as well. So they were really missing a lot of that veteran presence. And this is where Modric has come in now and been more of a leader. I've seen Philly in the chat say that as well. Modric stepping up, players like Rudiger stepping up, becoming leaders. We've seen Vinny chat a lot. He's a chatterbox anyway, but now he's actually chatting to the players. And we're seeing them start to get their groove back. So Ancelotti doesn't have to say much. And even when the veterans were there, he wasn't saying much anyway. Even with Pep, we see times where Pep's not saying anything because he has leaders on the pitch. There'll be times where Pep comes up and says something, but a lot of the times he's just sat watching because he has Rodri, he has Edison, he has players on the pitch, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silvas, who they know what's required, they know what they need to do, and they will go out and do it. Now, obviously, Man City is not the greatest example because they're on free fall right now, but this is still the same team that won 5 and 6 Premier League. So I'm never going to count them out until it's mathematically impossible. But I think that's really the issue, and I think this is why Arteta speaks for Arsenal so much on the touchline, because Arsenal, as they have players in there, they got big characters, but I don't think they have proper leaders on the pitch.
Yeah, they don't have anyone.
Yeah, they don't have that type. They have everything else but that.
They sold Xhaka, and I would have thought he would have been one player that's like that.
I think so, but I think Xhaka's history with the fans is like that's the same player that told the Arsenal fans to fuck off.
I hate to say it because he's played for them, but when I look at him, he wasn't like a bad choice for a captain because I thought he had a bit of like fighting.
No, he was a good choice. Yeah, I think Højbjerg would have been good for us.
Andrew's problem is also he's come out and said he wants to make leaders, so that's another issue. So he doesn't have leaders on the pitch. He doesn't control, and I'm saying this for me puts even more pressure on Ange to be directing the players, because if he doesn't have leaders on the pitch, then he has to be the leader, really, because
to see just someone to shadow. Like you need to shadow a leader to become a leader.
Well, and everyone says it's a youth project, quote unquote. It's not really.
It's not really. I ain't gonna lie. Nah.
Anyway, before we finish off, any hope for Wolves, and who do you think's going to play in defence? And I'll give mine.
Defense is going to be because Spence is suspended now. So Poro and Udogie can clock in another 90 minutes. And then it will be Archie Gray and then either Dorrington or maybe Basuma. That's going to be.
You think Basuma's going to play there?
Probably. I'm not going to. I don't know. We have Ben Davies, but I don't know. Actually, to be fair, this manager does shove in players.
Davies is not fit. Got another knock.
I mean, neither was Van de Ven and Romero, but it didn't stop him playing them either. So
yeah, that's true.
Maybe
actually,
he might play him and Archie Gray, man. So we'll see. But if he actually does sideline Ben Davies, because Dragashin's injured, isn't he? So if he's injured now, yeah. So it'll probably be Basuma, I'd guess. I don't know who else. I don't think he'll start Dorrington. I don't think so.
Because do you know Dorrington wasn't even on the bench in the last game?
Yeah, I saw it. Go ahead.
Which is kind of madness for me. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's why I don't think it's a youth project, man. It's not a youth project.
Do you think there's a chance he could play regular at left back and play Udogie in the middle?
No, I don't think so. I don't even know if Reguilon would get on the pitch. I'm gonna be real, because look what it took for Jed Spence to get on the pitch, and for Ange has to admit that he's wrong essentially because he did everything to stop Jed getting on the pitch. He had to wait until 3 centre backs and the left back got injured before Jed could get a game. And Jed has been our best fullback, so I don't think he wants to be wrong twice in a row because that would just be bad.
What I'm saying is, I'd rather he did something like that because putting Basuma at centre back is just, I think it's just suicide.
I get it, but Udogie is just not a defender. So, I mean, the one thing about Emerson, we know he's dead, but at least he defends. Like
Ryan, do you want to come on? You're probably gonna beat us, man. Anyway.
Big up Ryan in the chat, man. But as bad as Emerson is and was, at least he would defend. So playing him at centre back was bad, but at least he defends. Udogie don't have a defending bone in his body. Like we saw the Nottingham Forest goal. Instead of defending, he started jogging to look at the linesman. Like go and defend your man, and Elanga goes and scores. But instead, he's watching. I
think it's stupid to put Basuma. I'd rather he put Dorrington. But what I'm saying is, it's hard because like he doesn't really have much faith in these youngsters. I don't think, apart from Gray.
I don't think so.
I don't think he really rates in many of them because he played Mikey Moore, but Mikey Moore's obviously, I don't know what it is with him. He's got the virus or whatever. But even Bergvall, I only got a Premier League start the other day, but it took how many injuries for him to even get a game?
That's why I don't think it's a youth project because they don't play. Like I've been saying, yo, the league's already washed. From Aston Villa, I was saying the league is washed. We need to just play the.
Wait, is Basuma suspended?
Did he get a card against?
Wait, Rang this man, is he suspended?
I don't think Basuma. I know Bentancur's he got taken off before he got a yellow card.
Cunha suspended. Oh,
okay. We have a chance to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I was saying about Bergvall youth projects. Nah, I've been saying since at the Aston Villa game, even though we won, the Premier League's a wash. We're not getting Europe. So if we're actually doing this youth project thing that the comments kept telling me we're doing, then actually do it in the Premier League. Like the cups are supposed to be the most important thing. Treat the cups like it's the most important thing, and play the kids in the Premier League. Like if you want to play the top teams and use the top squad, then fair enough. But like for like 10th down or like 8th down, whatever, just do an actual youth project.
Oh, he's not being suspended.
Not been suspended yet. He played yesterday. I guess we'll see in it. But like play the kids in the Premier League. Let them get used to Premier League football, and then they'll need what we need them to do. They'll be more ready for it maybe next season or maybe the season after next. But saving them for Europa League fodder is not the way to go in terms of development. And I said it after Southampton. Of course, Archie Gray looks good against Southampton. He's a championship player. So, of course, he's going to look good against championship opposition. Like, that's what he was doing before.
I kind of feel sorry for Archie Gray, personally. But anyway.
I'm not the
biggest fan, but I kind of feel sorry for him.
I do. I feel bad for him because he's not getting a chance in his midfield role. But I just wish he'd play there so people can see him for the Harry Winks regen he is, and people can stop people can get off my nuts because
Archie Gray.
Yeah, like people think like Harry. People like acting like Harry Winks was a bum. Like he's not a bum. He was a good squad player. That's
It
what
was all
Archie
right.
Gray is.
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah, he's just a composed guy in midfield. Keep the ball moving. He's not gonna propel you to anything special. He's just you play him there. He's a plug and play player. That's what Archie Gray is gonna be. It's not that big of a deal. He's not worth 40 million, but that's who Archie Gray is. Like he's just a nice player. That's it. He's a luxury player. We
He's a
shouldn't be
nice
buying him to be. Yeah, he's just a nice player, man. Like, he's cool. That's it. He's just cool. He's a nice guy. You know, keep the ball moving. He can ping a pass. Hurrah! He can ping a pass. That's what a midfielder is supposed to do. But if you really want him to develop his game, you get players who are in his position who are great, and you have them mentor him. But we don't have that, which is part of the reason why he's not really gonna improve to what this fan base want him to improve to, because he doesn't really have any like role models who fit his style of play. So it's when he gets to play this six eventually, he's not really going to be anything crazily special, unfortunately.
So before we finish up, score prediction. I already know mine.
Against Wolves, I feel like we're gonna win. I feel like we're gonna beat Wolves. I think it's gonna be, especially if Cunha doesn't play. But I feel like even with Cunha plays, we beat Wolves. Not because Wolves are anything to snooze at or anything like that. I respect Wolves and the style of football they play. It's just a thing of, I just think we're gonna get this kind of result, especially at home, and it's gonna just propel everyone back to basically what it was after Southampton.
Please.
Not to compare Wolves and Southampton, but basically, I think that's just what's gonna happen. We're gonna end up just scoring. I feel like it's gonna be, whether it's deserved or undeserved, we're probably gonna win like 4-1 or some shit, and everyone's gonna be back. Spurs are back. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's 4-1, maybe even 5 if we're being overzealous, a bit lucky. And I feel like, yeah, everyone gonna be like, Spurs are back. Oh my god, yada yada yada. Not to throw shade to Wolves. Yeah, big Ange. Not to throw shade to Wolves or anything. I don't think the game's actually and realistically gonna be just like a pushover like the scoreline suggests. I feel like it'll be an end-to-end game. I just think Wolves won't score, and I think Tottenham will. And that's just gonna be the way it goes. Yeah, that's gonna be the difference, really. That's gonna be it. I think we're just gonna be like an easily scumbag, quick 4-1. Everyone backs Ange again, and then two games later we'll be back down losing again. So that's
I think we're gonna lose 3-1 if I'm being honest.
3-1 at home.
Yeah.
I mean, at home doesn't mean much considering we've lost at home quite a few times this season, isn't it? But it could happen, to be fair. I mean, Wolves have some quality players that they got Cunha and Strand Larson, Wang Yi-chan. They've got some quality attackers up there, so they're definitely nothing to snooze at.
They
That's
got
a
a new
game you
manager
can
bounce
easily
as
lose.
well. That's what I think. They got a new
manager bounce. Yeah, they're not a team to snooze at all. They've got some quality players in that team.
3 away to Leicester, and I would say Leicester have better defensive.
I think they beat Fulham 4-1 at home as well. I think Fulham were home and they beat them 4-1, something like that. I could be wrong, but
yeah,
Wolves are definitely
Fulham,
like they put 2 past Chelsea as well before Madueke just you know what I'm saying, proved why Wolves ain't a great place to live. But honestly, it could go either way. Like I think we're gonna smoke them, not just because that's the Tottenham thing, innit? Not as a shade to Wolves or anything, because I know Wolves have great players and they have a good manager and they play a nice style of football, great defensive team. So it's not even a thing about shading Wolves. It's just I feel like we're just gonna have to beat them just for Ange to get that foothold again. So that's it.
So he's gonna do, because a lot of people comparing Ange to Ten Hag. He's gonna just keep winning one every 3 games, and everyone's gonna be like, he's gonna just about keep his job.
I mean, will Ange win an FA Cup and a League Cup? So are we being disrespectful to Ten Hag? That's the question.
No. I'm not in the sense of that. I mean, as in the sense of like the league. You know.
Oh yeah. He's pretty much like Ten Hag, yeah, pretty much. But I feel like there's more. Not arrogance.
Anyway.
Yeah, there's more. There's gonna be more vitriol to Ten Hag just because he's at a bigger club. So you know the cups aren't gonna cut it when the league form is that bad. So yeah, if we had Ten Hag, we'd be celebrating now. That's just how it goes.
1, 2 trophies, I'll be over the moon.
1, 2 trophies, yeah, literally, man. We'll be screaming back the manager, you know, like that.
Anyway, Elijah, when are you next going live? Just before
I'm next going live on Sunday when we play. We play Sunday, right? I'll be going live to do a watch along. I've got a video that I just uploaded today a few hours ago, so people can check that out if they want to check that out. But Sunday is when I'll next be live.
because I saw your last video. I don't care if my players get injured.
Yeah. Quote from Ange. This is me just talking about an article that came out when he was back at Celtic, basically saying he doesn't mind players getting injured if it like he wants his style of play over everything. So if players get injured, he will still
Play well, but it doesn't matter.
values his style of play more. He doesn't mind if his players get injured because he wants his style of play to be the most important thing. Appreciate you, Ryan.
Well done,
yeah.
Ryan. So please subscribe to Elijah. Now it's like a regular guest on my channel, so
pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
You got, man.
Yeah, I'm here.
You do your solo stuff, innit? They don't really have guests in that, isn't it? Yours is just solo stuff.
Yeah, mine's just pretty much because I don't stream on StreamYard, I stream on OBS. So even if someone wanted to come on my stream, I'd have to set up like a whole StreamYard thing and stuff. But most of the time I just stream on my own because.
And to be honest,
I don't know.
If you aren't subscribed to him already, his short videos are the best. You know, the ones where you do that. Your little.
Yeah, I need to do more of them, man. I've been streaming a lot more recently, but I'm gonna get back into my video bag because that's what I'm best at. I'm gonna get back into it, 100%.
Biggest grifter and
biggest grifter. You know, I keep grifting from videos to live streams, innit? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I need to get back to what I love.
Well, guys, we're out for now. And Ange out, Levy out. Anyone else that I have missed out? Come on, you first.
Big up the chat, man.
Yeah. Hold on a sec. Whoops. Yeah, I want to end it now. Whoops. I'll press random.